morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. How do you do? How are we doing this morning? I do hope all is well. Yeah. And of course, at this time every morning we give you things that will assist you, and we give you the word of the day, we give you the thought of the day. And this morning, the word for today is mnemonic. Mnemonic. It's spelled MNEMONIC. Yeah. And it means assisting or intended to assist memory or of a relating to a technique for improving one's memory. It also has a broader sense, a meaning of or relating to memory. So mnemonic, all right, assisting or intended to assist memory or of a relating to a technique for improving one's memory. And it also has a broader sense, meaning of a relating to a memory. Now, it can be used in a sentence like this. James taught his students the mnemonic sentence, King Philip came over for good spaghetti, to help them remember the levels of biological classification. All right? Good. That's your word for the day. Good. Nice. All right. Yes. Yeah, that's the way we do it. So you had your word for the day. Now let's move to the thought for the day. Respect the old when you are young, right? Respect the old when you are young. Help the weak when you are strong. Confess the fault when you are wrong. Because one day in life you will be old, weak, and wrong. I like that one. I'll repeat it. I'll reiterate it. Respect the old when you are young. Help the weak when you are strong. Confess the fault when you are wrong. Because one day in life you will be old and weak and wrong. Nice. 25 minutes on to 7 o'clock. Remember, at 6:45 we've got the AM edition of News, Sports, and the weather. Yeah. Nice. Now, I'll give you the riddle for the day quickly. And of course, you've got to call me and tell me the answer, all right? Now, why does the teacher wear sunglasses when she comes to class? Why does the teacher wear sunglasses when she comes to class? 435-2041. That's the number you call and give me your answer, or take a shot at the answer. The riddle again. Why does the teacher wear sunglasses when she comes to class? You think you have the answer? And tell you what, next week I'm working on some prizes, so when you do the riddle, we can get the prizes. Good morning, Mr. Orlando. How are you doing, Papi? All is well? Nice. Why does the teacher wear sunglasses when she comes to school? 435-2041. That's the number to call. 24 minutes onto the hour of 7 o'clock. Yeah. Good morning, and we've got a caller on the line. Good morning. Hi, good morning. Hello? All right. No problem. 435-2041. Why does the teacher wear sunglasses when she comes to the class? Call me. Yeah, let's go back to the phone line. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Where are you calling me from?
I am calling from the General Hospital.
Ah, as a patient or an employee?
As an employee.
Wow. You're Doctor Who?
No, I'm not Dr. Nobody.
All right. Oh, you're not Dr. Nobody. Okay. All right, good. You think you have the answer for us?
Maybe.
Well, give it your best shot.
I think it's because the students are bright.
Because the students are bright?
I think so.
You think or you know?
I find so.
Okay. Well, let me give you some good news. You are correct. All right, you are correct. The teacher wears sunglasses because the students are bright. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Good. So how the day going so far?
It's kind of quiet for now.
Quiet, okay.
Yeah, because it's not 8 o'clock as yet.
Ah, but you're already there.
Yes, I'm preparing.
That's good. That's the idea. You're in preparatory mode.
Yes.
Okay, well, you have yourself a wonderful day, and if you are dealing with any patients today, say something to them that will uplift their spirits, right?
Oh, that is always done.
Good, nice. Now you're my girl. Have a great day, right?
You too.
And God bless. Bye-bye. Yeah, good. Good morning once again. Good morning, Gary. How are you?
Good morning. Just keep the volume over on your end, a little bit low the volume, and that should take care of that feedback you're experiencing there. But good morning, how you doing, man?
I am doing great. How about you?
I am doing wonderful, man. Welcome, everybody. How's everyone out there in Radio Land, TV Land, and out there on social media doing this morning? Of course, we are live on Facebook as well, so we want to encourage viewers on Facebook to share, and let's get this show. Well, it's already started.
Yep.
How you doing, Innocent? How you doing, man?
Well, I have not been better in my life.
Well, hey, what else can we ask for?
Of course, I've got life, I've got health, I've got strength, and I've got good friends and family.
That's all that we need, once we can maintain that.
Right, good.
That's all we need.
So Gary, we're making a run on the buzz, okay? What's happening? There's been a story that's been trending for a while now as it relates to Akim Andrew. It is said that he's now heading to the legal fraternity. Now, I wonder if folks remember Akim. All right.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're gonna delve into that a bit after the news because we don't have time to get into that. We're going to take in the news first, and after that we're going to go full into conversation mode. All right. But yes, the Akim topic is one we're definitely going to touch upon. We're going to get into that a little bit later on. So that's the Akim Andrew, and you're right. Yeah, he's going the legal route, and we're going to find out exactly what's your thoughts on that. Plus other topics as well we'll be discussing a bit later on this morning. Vehicular accidents is on the increase as well.
As a matter of fact, Gary, it made headline news, man.
Yeah.
20 accidents within 3 days.
Hey, Innocent, load the music down on your end. I'm barely hearing you.
Okay, good.
Good, wonderful, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, 20 accidents in 3 days, What's happening there, man?
Yeah, we're going to find out that a bit later on because that is definitely a cause for concern here in Greater Carriacou, PD Mountain. It's just a small island, in 3 days. 20 accidents, man.
Yeah, that's a lot.
We're going to hear from, of course, the Royal Grenada Police Force on that matter a bit later on. So make sure you keep it tuned in. And I didn't get the opportunity to say it, but I'm going to say it because I know you did too yesterday, right? So we want to say happy belated birthday to Deacon Mitchell, our Prime Minister.
The Honorable, please.
Thank you very much. All right, the Honorable Deacon Mitchell celebrated his birthday. If I'm not mistaken, I think I'm older than the PM,
The PM is a youngster.
Yeah, I mean that is not a slight on the PMO, by the way, because people are real touchy these days.
Yeah, no.
Any little thing you say that can be interpreted as negative.
I think, Gary, I think that augurs well for Grenada if we have such a youthful Prime Minister.
Oh yeah, that's a compliment.
He's capable of blending his youthfulness with maturity. I think it means well. I think he can understand both levels, the youth and the middle-aged, the elderly.
Bridging the gap. So happy belated, the Honorable Deacon Mitchell. Mike Sylvester celebrated. Our old friend of mine celebrated his birthday. I think the day before.
Wow,
He's permanent secretary.
In finance.
Yes. So,
and as you touch that, this month, Financial Information Month is being observed as well, right?
Financial Information Month is being observed. We're going to touch a little bit on that because the CCC boss, he made some very salient points, and one of those would be the fact that being financially prudent and being financially responsible is not just a national thing. You know, it has
personal.
to be personal as well.
It's
all right.
personal.
So he gave some information with regard to that, some nuggets now.
Yeah.
All right, on how we can invest our money, how we can be, you know, set up ourselves now.
Financial literacy.
Yeah, financial literacy.
Yeah,
How can we set up ourselves and by extension set up the next generation?
Yeah, that's good.
Right.
And another thing that I would like us to touch on, although it's you know, it's a bit gone, but my good friend Arthur Houston, he has survived cancer 25 years later, man.
Yeah.
And he is so good at it that he is offering counseling services, you know, mentorship to persons who are diagnosed with this grave ailment, you know.
Yeah, well, listen, Arthur is a source of inspiration to so many people out there, and he is, of course, a living example that you can beat this dreaded disease, right? For those of you who've known someone who fought the good fight and, you know, succumb eventually to the dreaded disease, I can speak personally of my mother. She passed of cancer.
Wow.
All right, but it's not the end of the road once diagnosed with cancer.
It's not necessarily a death sentence.
It is not a death sentence. And Arthur Holston, he is definitely living proof of that. One of these days we need to get him on so we can have a face-to-face conversation with him, so he can, of course, impart his knowledge and understanding and wisdom.
I know
where that is concerned. Of course.
He'd love that.
He's a warm person, humble, very humble person, and I've had the occasion on many times to chit chat with him. Speaking about Arthur Holston, though, Mike, Innocent, when you're ready with the news, just let me know, because sometimes I just
you get carried away.
Yeah. There's going to be a funeral service on the 3rd of November at 1 p.m. That's going to be in the Anglican Church, and that is in memory of our good old friend. You guys would remember him from Fantasia 2001. That's George.
Oh yeah.
All right. Yeah. So we're looking forward to all you guys coming out there to celebrate his life, and that's going to be on November the 3rd, and it's going to be at 1 p.m. So that's a funeral service that is going to be held in the memory of George, as we remember him, humble, quiet, always smiling soul at Club Fantasia. You know what I mean? The man who invented the best tasting rum punch in Grenada.
He actually did, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, okay.
He crafted that rum punch there, man. I mean, he did not invent rum punch, okay?
Yeah, but he had his own blend.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I had many people, calling for that rum punch at Fantasia. So I want to say a heartfelt condolence once again to the Moore family, and the passing of George. And I remember our funeral service will be held at the Guava Anglican Church, because that's his parish of birth, on November the 3rd. I just thought I'd put that in there, folks, because I think a lot of y'all would definitely that would mean something to many of y'all.
Right. Okay, well, Gary, I think I'm going to break off here now as we head into the news, folks. You join Gary and I, and on the flip side of 7, where we have these conversations. Okay, so that's it for this segment. We'll be back with the news momentarily.
Solar lights are back in stock and will be available for purchase at Southern Electrical. Here is a list of the solar lights that we offer. 200 to 300 watt intelligent floodlights with camera, 300 to 500 watt solar street lights, 60, 100, 200 and 500 RGB solar floodlights, 100, 200, 300, 500 and 800 solar floodlights, solar garden lights, 25, 40, 60, 100 and 200 watt solar floodlights, 3, 7 and 10 watt solar wall lights, motion sensor garden lights, motion sensor floodlights, 30, 60 and 90 watt solar street lights with accessories, 5 watt solar wall lamps, 40 and 60 solar street lights, and 100 and 300 solar floodlights with battery power display. Now available at Southern Electrical, Dusty Highway, St. George. Visit our showroom today.
Affordable quality products products delivered to you via superb service. We are Superb Distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love, like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta, and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
Catholic Bishop Father Clive Harvey says regional security must mean more than guns and ammunitions, as he urged the members to maintain their unity, wherein lies their strength. The RSS celebrated 40 years on the weekend with a church service in Grenada. More in this Christina John report.
And that's something I want you to leave here with. If RSS exists, it exists not for the sake of our governments, or any other government for that matter. It exists for the sake of the people. And you as security officers must always understand, whether you're just a simple policeman or a commissioner, you must always understand that what you do is for God's people.
That was Catholic Bishop Clive Harvey delivering the homily at the 40th anniversary church service of the regional security system. The occasion was marked by a church service held here in Grenada at the Blessed Sacrament Catholic Church in Grenada, St. George, where 30 years ago the first treaty of the RSS was signed. According to Bishop Harvey, security should mean more than arms and ammunition.
Security must mean more than arms and ammunition. Security must mean more than technology, because some of you policemen think you know the technology, but there are young people who know more than you will ever know. And if they become the proponents of the violence and the insecurity, we are in serious trouble. Serious.
Bishop Harvey urged the grouping to maintain that unity, because in that unity lies their strength, and in so doing there will be trust in the people. Prime Minister and present chairman of the RSS Council of Ministers, Honorable Deacon Mitchell, in delivering his remarks, highlighted some of the contributions made by the RSS over the years.
As the RSS celebrates 40 years of service to the people of our 7 member states, namely Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, the Commonwealth of Dominica, Grenada, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we salute them for their service and commitment. It has already been alluded to this morning that Grenada was the first member state to benefit from a major deployment of the RSS in October 1983, this month, together with military forces of partners and troops who are deployed in Grenada to restore democracy after a period of political upheaval.
Prime Minister Mitchell notes that since its inception, the RSS has activated its response mechanism at least 24 times in support of member and non-member states.
Since the establishment of the RSS in October of 1982, this organization has been relied upon for advice in a wide range of security matters and resource mobilization in support of national forces responding to various national threats, ranging from natural hazards, significant instability due to heightened activity from organized crime groups, attempted coups, among other matters.
Present were prime ministers and chiefs of security from across RSS member states, officers of both military and police organizations from the 7 islands, as well as RSS's partners and affiliates, uniting at the very location where the RSS treaty was signed almost 30 years ago. The service was preceded by a march past by troops from across RSS member states. Christina John, GBN News.
As Solidarity Week is being observed by the Grenada Trade Union Council, Minister for Labour, Senator Claudette Joseph, is highlighting her government's commitment to the workers of the country. Gerard Joseph has the details.
Citing the several steps the NDC administration has taken to ensure a cordial relationship with the labor unions and for the best interests of workers, Labour Minister Senator Claudette Joseph says the National Democratic Congress looks forward to uniting heads and hands with the unions to tackle the issue of pension reform.
My government is confident that working with the unions, we will find a solution that serves the interests of all workers, the wider community, and the economy in the long term. My government is committed to the transformation agenda on which we were elected. However, we recognize that unity between government and the labor movement is critical to achieving the success we all wish for.
Having appointed and convened the Wages Advisory Committee and the Labour Advisory Board, the Labour Minister notes the importance of unity in navigating the volatile and uncertain global situation.
Furthermore, we are pleased to have commenced the conversation on the need to regularize contract workers, not just in the public sector, but in the private sector as well. And we welcome the union's support in this regard.
Senator Joseph says in enhancing the labor climate for all workers, solidarity must be had among government and unions to ensure the quality of life is lifted. The Minister of Labour reiterates that government and unions must recognize that they share constituents, thus their respective agendas will be served if they work together.
My government in these early days has clearly demonstrated that it has the best interest of all workers at heart, given the steps we've taken so far. We intend to move forward in this vein, expecting full cooperation, support, and solidarity from our brothers and sisters in the trade union movement, as together we move Grenada forward. Once again, on behalf of my colleagues in government and on my own behalf, I wish all workers and unions a successful and enjoyable Solidarity Week.
I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Over 2 years of fighting the global pandemic have not put a halt to the incidences of cancer island-wide. However, they have unfortunately eaten into the cash of volunteers able to make themselves available for organizations such as the Grenada Cancer Society. More in this Rena Pierre-Thomas report.
This notable reduction in volunteers making up the core team offering cancer screening and support to cancer patients, survivors and their families has affected the Cancer Society's ability to give the level of care and attention required. Dr. Sonia Nixon, interim chair of Grenada's Cancer Society, said that the society currently has no paid personnel and that the ability to meet together as an organization during the last 3 years and previous cutbacks on patient screening due to closed contract requirements have severely impacted them.
Volunteerism probably is a problem that almost every single voluntary organization has. Not only because people aren't as interested, but simply because COVID has kept us away from each other. So just mobilizing people to come and be volunteers has been a major challenge for us and all the other organizations. You ask and they tell you, volunteers to spread the news, to talk about cancers, to go out there to assist with screening, to give support to persons who may or may not be volunteers. This has not happened. None of them don't have volunteers, but we all need a lot more. We need more people out there, more boots on the ground, more people talking about it. How are we going to solve it? Like I said, collaborating with other community-based organizations, other organizations that are already existing.
As October is also recognized as Breast Cancer Awareness Month globally, Dr. Nixon says that putting activities and plans in place is more challenging due to the shortage of volunteers, and as such, they partner with other organizations. She spoke of some of the areas volunteers are needed in.
Just come, help to sell t-shirts, help to give out flyers in the community. People who are there who can come, work with the plan from a central point and take the message back to the communities, have ongoing support groups and that kind of stuff. That's what we want. We also need like nurses and physicians and stuff, so that when we're doing screening that recognizes, that requires specific skills, we like them to be a part of this whole thing.
Grenada Cancer Society is appealing to Grenadians to take a better look at their lifestyle and bodies to see whether they fall into high-risk categories, as well as teaching themselves how to examine their breasts for lumps and to help their partners do the same for them. She also appeals for more volunteers.
Whatever it is, and if you think that the Cancer Society is somewhere that you can work, just come. Our offices are up on the way to the hospital, the main hospital, at the Presbyterian Church office. The number is 435-9869. And just come in or call and see what you think you can do. And of course, we all we accept newness, because when you get to like my age, and those of us who've been there long, we tend to think in a very singular way. We need new ideas and stuff in order to make this work.
The Grenada Cancer Society will collaborate with the St. Andrew Development Organization for their walk on Saturday, October 29th, and with the Grenada Realtors Association on Sunday, October 30th. Please check the Cancer Society's Facebook page for details. The doctor also appeals to people to support the event and volunteer. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
There's a thin line between sanity and insanity, and it's a line health officials are urging people to protect and maintain as the world recognizes World Mental Health Day. We get more in this report.
Today, October 10th, marks World Mental Health Day. Minister of State with responsibility for social development and gender affairs, Gloria Ann Thomas, reminds all of the importance of protecting and maintaining one's mental health. In an address delivered to the nation, Minister Thomas vows that her ministry will work towards ending stigma and discrimination.
Depression and anxiety as common forms of mental illness are on the rise, and we each must do our part to encourage our family members, co-workers, neighbors, church brothers and sisters, partners, or anyone who is struggling emotionally and psychologically to seek help.
Noting the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, she said countries around the world are being urged to invest in mental health services.
Ladies and gentlemen, good mental health today is more critical than ever before. We must take steps to guard and promote our own mental health. Love your mind, as it is your most important asset.
It is stigma and discrimination that often results in some people suffering in silence. Churches, non-governmental organizations, the private sector, and community organizations are being urged to get on board as mental health matters. The theme for this year's celebration is Make Mental Health and Well-Being a Global Priority for All. Minister for Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs, Jonathan Nacrette, looks at legislative changes to put mental health issues within that priority list.
The Ministry of Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs, Grenada, is currently reviewing our draft Mental Health Act with a view to amendments that will speak to principles that will drive the provision of mental health services in Grenada. Moreover, we have seen the need for a wellness council that will be tasked with the policy mandate to promote a culture of physical, psychological, financial, and emotional well-being.
Don't ignore these signs of mental issues.
Changes in sleeping and or eating patterns, withdrawal, loss of interest in activities that they once enjoyed, problems with memory and or concentrating, exhibiting excessive worry or fear, suicidal ideation, hallucinations, paranoia.
Cherry and Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
Total is one of the world's largest oil companies with a top quality line of lubricants. Total Lubricants has a full product line from passenger cars, motorcycle, heavy industrial equipment, mining, trucking, agriculture, and manufacturing machines and vehicles. Total Lubricants, winning championships in motorsports, including Formula One and World Rally Championships. Total Lubricants are available at all Rubis service stations, leading automotive shops, and distributed by Huggins.
Megafest 2022 Gospel Explosion is finally here. Join the youth of the Grenada Conference of Seventh-day Adventists under the green and white tent at Progress Park in St. Andrews from Sunday, October 9th to the 29th at 7 p.m. and continuing nightly for an electrifying evangelistic experience like no other. Come hear the ever-exhilarating Pastor Oliver Scott shout to the kingdom of darkness with thundering messages from the Word of God. If you ever needed the Lord before, we sure do need Him now. Come find hope in the midst of your pain. See you there.
Joshua Paul, a 68-year-old resident of Pointsfield, St. Patrick, passed away at the General Hospital on Friday, the 7th of October, 2022, while being treated for a gunshot wound to his leg. A press release issued by police explained that during the early hours of Thursday, the 6th of October, a uniformed police officer responded to a crime in progress at Seton James Street, Grenville, St. Andrew. On arrival, he met and detained the offender. The release further states that while being escorted to the police station, an incident occurred. Mr. Paul received a gunshot wound to his leg and was immediately taken to the Princess Alice Hospital and then transferred to the General Hospital, where he subsequently passed away. An autopsy to determine his cause of death has been ordered. 20 accidents within 3 days, with one resulting in 5 persons seeking medical attention at the General Hospital. More in this report from Rena Pierre-Thomas.
Officers attached to the traffic department of the Royal Grenada Police Force said they were busier than usual over the weekend as they recorded 20 vehicular accidents from the period of Friday the 7th and Sunday the 9th October. Officer 838 Troy Paul explains.
The weekend, starting from the 7th to the 9th, which is Friday to Sunday, which we term over the weekend period, was somewhat busy for members of the traffic department. So far, we had a total of 20 accidents reported to the various police stations throughout the Trial State of Grenada, in which 18 of these 20 are of minor nature and 2 reported to be serious.
Officer Paul says that while these accidents are still under investigation, he believes that most could have been avoided if drivers adhere to road signs and speed limits. He said the 2 major accidents were recorded in the parish of St. Andrew and St. David.
So on Saturday, the 8th of October, we had a serious accident which occurred at Telescope St. Andrew, where one vehicle lost control and collided with 3 other vehicles. The damages in that accident was extensive. However, we had 2 minor injuries. Persons were injured in that accident as well. However, those 2 persons seek medical attention and was discharged from the hospital. Also, we had another on the 9th at Wester Hall in St. David, where it was a head-on collision. Vehicle was traveling the opposite direction when they collided. However, 5 persons were hospitalized as a result of that accident.
Vehicle owners are being called upon to have a designated driver when drinking alcohol and reminded to stop and rest when they feel fatigue.
From the traffic department, we just want to implore on drivers to be vigilant while you're on the nation's road, especially driving at night. Persons, even if you may out having a good time, remember your alcohol consumption. Remember fatigue driving. If you're drinking, do not drive. Also, please obey our speed limit signs, signals, and so forth. persons must also be reminded that you must properly maintain your vehicles so that when the time comes for you to stop, especially your braking system and the other aspects which cause one's vehicle to come at a complete stop, that these must be properly maintained.
For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
Grenada is among 4 Caribbean countries expected to benefit from a United Nations Sustainable Development Goal Joint Fund program aimed at reducing poverty and vulnerability in the region. Christina John reports more.
The United Nations Sustainable Development Goal Joint Program was launched recently in St. Kitts and Nevis and is being led by UNICEF in partnership with other UN agencies such as the World Food Program, the International Labour Organization, and UNESCO at a cost of approximately $3 million. Minister for Education, Youth, Sport and Culture, Senator David Andrew, welcomed the program.
This program is timely, as many of us are still grappling with the impact of COVID-19 on several of our key sectors, such as education, agriculture, and tourism, but in particular on the vulnerable, including women and children, and those involved in the informal work sector, for whom security and formal protection are largely unavailable. Furthermore, the program has well incorporated elements of Grenada's National Sustainable Development Plan 2035 in its people-centric approach. People empowerment and the consistent presence of youth voices in making policies and decisions is imperative for my government's transformative agenda.
Grenada's focus for the program will be on the development of technical, vocational education training and strengthening social protection systems in the country.
Our focus on developing and strengthening TVET policies will transform technical and vocational skills into a mainstream activity for youth development and human capacity, creating an enabling environment for versatility, resulting in less poverty and unemployment. The extended impact is the development of a cadre of young persons motivated to explore their full potential to positively impact social progress.
Apart from Grenada, the program known as the Resilient Caribbean, engaging and training youth and strengthening integrated social protection sector delivery, will include Anguilla, St. Kitts and Nevis, and the British Virgin Islands. This joint program will leverage and build on regional support from the OECS Secretariat. Priscilla John, GBN News.
Do more with your new GUT Credit Union Visa debit card, which gives you access to your cash at any Connex or Visa certified ATMs locally and internationally. Make your payments with a tap of your card using the contactless feature and have the freedom to make purchases locally, online, or overseas whenever you travel, anywhere Visa is accepted. Experience the enhanced security fraud protection through the Visa chip technology. If you don't have your new GUT Credit Union Visa International debit card, speak to any one of our representatives today to do more. Your new GUT Credit Union Visa International debit card, a smarter way to access your cash. More smart, more secure.
For it, and now it's here. The NLA announces its new mid-morning draw commencing September 30th at 9:45 a.m. Yes, you heard right. Draws for Pick 3, Cash 4, and Playway will now be conducted 3 times daily at 9:45 a.m., 12:45 p.m., and 7:45 p.m. Monday to Friday. The Saturday draws remains twice daily. And that's not all. Simply place your non-winning Cash 4, Pick 3 and Playway tickets valued at least $10 from a single purchase in the NLA branded box at your favorite sales location. 4 chances to win 10 prizes of $1,000 each. Whoa! $10,000 is up for winnings. Compliments the NLA. Be sure to write your name, address, and contact info on your entries before submitting. Promotion runs from September 30th to October 28th and would be drawn on Friday, November 4th, 2022. NLA, making your dreams a reality while supporting sports, culture, and nation building. Must be 18 or older to participate. Terms and conditions apply. See stores for details.
Good morning once again and welcome back to Classic Good Morning Grenada. Gordon, Innocent, Joseph in your company as always. And this morning I'm paired with my good friend Gary, Mr. Smooth Roberts.
Yes, sir.
And it's a great time to say good morning. Good morning, Gary. How are you?
Good morning, man. What's going on?
Well, everything is copacetic, you know? Yeah. On your way down this morning, what was the weather like?
It looked like look kind of gloomy, you know. Yeah, but I find like I just took a look on the outside there, and it seemed to be you know brightening up a bit. You know what I mean? So it looks like we have some. I didn't hear what the weatherman say. What did
we expect some inclement weather, but not anything to jump and scream about. Yeah, not much.
So today may not be the beach perfect day, no?
Not necessarily at all. Right. But you know, I like it when it's wet on the beach.
Okay.
Yeah. I like the rain.
After all, you're going on the beach to get wet, ain't it?
Of course, that's the idea. That's the idea. Yeah. Right. So we want to touch base with these topics this morning, topical issues.
Yeah.
The first one we're looking at, and I know my TV producer is queuing up that clip.
Akim Andrew.
It says here he's going the legal route.
Before we get into the story, though, you know, what amazed me about, well, I don't know if amazed is the word, but you know let's go with amazed then. All right. What amazed me over the many years I've been hearing about some of his shenanigans,
right.
All right. Is how did he pull it off? How did you pull off impersonating a police officer? How did you pull off impersonating a medical doctor, among other things?
Well, firstly, for someone to first come up with that idea that they can do that person has to have a very, 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 very big thinking capacity. All right, his imagination must be not just imagination, but his creativity must be very, very, very good. Because first of all, a police officer is not someone that is difficult to identify, because your uniform is depicting who you are. From the time you see the uniform, you can know that this is a member of the RGPF. As a matter of fact,
but he must have had a uniform.
Well, yeah. So again, in my opinion, there must have been some sort of partnering. There must be some. Where did he get a uniform from? A police uniform?
Assuming he had a uniform.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he was portraying to be a police officer.
The man clocking in and all, and
I mean, but Gary, this is a very serious issue. Now, what does it tell you about the superiors? The officers in charge.
Well, that issue did bring some level of embarrassment to the RGPF, and I think they would have long gotten over that and recovered from that. Yeah. And we know that this could not possibly happen again in the future. But the mere fact that he was able to pull it off it brings light to the fact that we have to be inspiring or encouraging our young people to channel their creative energy in the right direction.
You know what I mean? Now, another side to the story. Now, it's good, right? I like the fact that while incarcerated, he must have gotten his head back in the right direction, and he decided to pursue a career in law. Now, that speaks, if that is happening, All right, it means that the folks at Her Majesty's prison is doing a great job.
Yeah, well, let's check out the clip though. We're going to join GBN Social Buzz as it looks into the thoughts of some social media users of this trending topic. They're going to comment on their thoughts, and you're going to also get a little insight into the story with this Akim Andrew as he has served his time at His Majesty. I'm trying to get used to it.
Yeah.
His Majesty, not Her Majesty.
His Majesty.
His
now.
Majesty.
Yeah, His Majesty
prison. All right.
Yeah.
You know, it gives me great angst saying that, but I'll say it nonetheless. But nonetheless, that's a topic for a different time.
And Gary, while on this, as you mentioned it, I'm going to give you a challenge, right? Let's see who's going to get the first dollar with the king's face on it, right?
Yeah, well, according to the ECCB, that ain't going to change anytime soon.
All right.
Yeah. All right, let's go check out the clip. We'll be right back.
Good.
We present the news. You analyze the various topics and distill the issues as they unfold. Your distillation points matter as we're about to highlight them in our Social Buzz report.
GBN Social Buzz is reaching beyond the local platform to share with you what's trending on social media. We browse the World Wide Web and bring to you the topics inciting the most reaction and debate among users.
Do you remember Akim Andrew? Well, he is going the legal road in his pursuit of greatness. And that's according to his lawyer, Jerry Edwin.
I must say that the clang of the prison door closing that we lawyers often refer to, this has served its rehabilitative effect. And we believe Akim will now walk the straight and narrow.
Social media users took to the comment section to share their thoughts about this latest development. The following views are that of the members of the public and not of the Grenada Broadcasting Network. Jamalia Andrews says, I don't know if it's to laugh or cry. All I have to say is our system is crazy. Firstly, who have eyes would have seen that this guy needed help. Sending him to prison wasn't fair on his part. Going forward, I hope that our system provide help for others like Akim. Alison Frederick says, stay on the positive side, and I hope and pray everything works out well for you. Phyllis Charles says, that's a positive outcome. I hope he pursue his dreams the legal way. And finally, Roger Fuchong says, he is just simply overambitious and need help. I think he outsmarts himself. He is very intelligent and should be taught the right thing to do. I think he needs boot camp. But to me, he appears to be a very well-dressed and pleasant person. I know he had about 10 employees doing insurance tasks. At another instance, I saw him with a doctor's stethoscope around his neck.
That's what's buzzing tonight. We encourage you, our viewers and listeners, to submit your think pieces on trending topics locally, regionally, and internationally via our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Continue to share your thoughts and concerns with us on our social media platforms.
All right, so that's it right there. That's it. Yeah. So Akim,
you know what I appreciate most.
He's on the straight and narrow now.
Yeah. What I appreciate most about that, Gary, especially the responses on the social media, is that no one bashed him. Everybody seems to be happy that he's changed his lifestyle and he can be reintegrated into society, and maybe he can be a role model. He's somebody that can come here and talk with us, and
So, yeah, I suppose he's now on the straight and narrow, and going forward, we expect nothing but, great things from him, because, to have pulled off all the things that he did, that speaks to his intelligence. Let's just put it that way.
His creative juices are really flowing.
Yeah. My question here this morning: are you guys buying all of this? Or you guys, do you believe that he has been transformed for the better? Has prison done? It has solved its purpose, so that he can be rehabilitated, and can he be trusted going forward? All right,
Gary, we've got a caller on the line. Good morning. Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Mr. Joseph, how are you doing, sir?
I am good. How are you?
Is it possible to speak a minute offline, please?
Okay, certainly after the program you can call me, all right? Okay, good. Yeah, Gary, That's another issue. While he might have been transformed, is the Grenadian public ready? Are they ready to accept him back into society? Because culturally, something like that happens to you, you are called a jailbird, and isolation tends to creep in. We have another call on the line. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Go ahead. Good morning. Could you step away from the radio or TV, please?
Yeah, I've just had a problem in taking it. Yeah, good morning.
All right, thanks. Welcome.
Yes, thank you. From the time I first heard about Akim's story, as one of the commenters on the social media stated, I thought here was a young man, intelligent, and you could see the capacity of this young fellow. Like somebody said, he outsmarted his own self. And I thought, what this youngster needed was to be taken in and be set on the right path. I mean, years ago we had a guy like that in St. Andrew, and we wondered when he traveled to the States how he didn't get killed yet. But so I support Akim, and I would really like to see him become that with a man with so much energy that can help, to make it in a positive way in the country, because a lot of negative is happening, and he was going that route. But I pray God that this change is going to help himself, the society, Grenada, the rest of the world. Have a good day.
Thank you very much, caller. Gary, what do you think?
Yeah, well, it's good to know that we are very supportive of him going forward, and I suppose that's what he needs to. He needs, to get those positive reinforcements going forward. Not just people just being all negative about the situation. So together we have to encourage him and help him along the way.
I do hope that he has that good family and friend support, people that would encourage him to continue on that trajectory that he's on, because, our society can be so demotivating at times, and based on the response that he gets from, people around, it can set him off rail again, so we need that support system, and like you alluded to just a while ago, the family would be and should be, and the community should be that support system, that cushion for him.
So all the best to him going forward. If you guys got some more comments and thoughts on this, feel free, hit us up. You all know the number.
435-2041. That's the number for those of you who don't know it. But I think most people know it. Gary, the other thing that I'm seeing here, and I know the TV guys is all getting it queued up. What's happening with us on the nation's roads, man?
20 accidents in 3 days. 20 accidents in 3 days. That's a lot.
We have to be thankful that none of them were actually fatal, know. But come on, what's your take on this?
Most of those happened over the weekend, so there is something to be said about driving under the influence, and it sounds almost cliche these days when you say, hey, don't drink and drive. If you're gonna be drinking, have a designated driver. But we all know what alcohol can do. It can give you a false sense of confidence and impair your judgment. So you cannot overstress this. You know what I mean? That you have to be a lot more responsible on the nation's roads.
Definitely. Gary, we have a caller. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. Hi,
yes, good morning. I just want to take a little spin back to the Akim situation.
Yes, go right ahead.
He's a young man who needs guidance. He doesn't need a boot camp. And I have to say, he must be in a very good state of mind to have been in a police station for 2 weeks. And not one of those police officers spotted something a little off with him.
Right here.
Maybe our police department, we need to look at it. It's not a simple thing. It could have been a major disaster. What if he was a kid who was off balance and he just picked up, he had access to weapons? The police department need to take a good look at this situation, review it, Look at all the possibilities that existed when that boy was there for 2 weeks wearing a police uniform without being detected. So I could put on a blue skirt, a white shirt, a cap on my head and go down in Grenville police station and be a policewoman.
Well, if you put on a white shirt, that means you have to be in immigration, eh?
Well, then they'll send me to immigration.
You made a good point.
So they need to look at it and maybe check out the signing in system to see and the security is off.
Well, I wouldn't want to use the term is. I think we would have to say was. Yeah, I think so.
And they need to look at the system and maybe put in some kind of system where they have to use a fingerprint or some more modern way of signing in.
Yeah.
Because this is a warning and it could have been a disastrous situation. And I will remember to pray for Akim. I think he's a good boy with good possibilities and he will do well. He needs a lot of support and guidance. And God bless you. Bye-bye.
That's what I like to hear, you know. And I wish more people can have that approach.
Yeah, I like what she said, that he must have he had to be in sound mind to have pulled this off for two weeks. So a lot of people question his mental stability. You know, I think one of the judges wrote him off as someone who has a mental
disorder.
But to have pulled this off, means that you have to be in some sound mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All right, Gary, we have a caller on the line. We'll take that call and then we head to a commercial break and we'll be right back. Don't go anyway. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Innocent, and morning to Gary. Welcome back, Gary. I think we need to look at this in a different angle. One, we haven't heard from the young man. We have heard about him. I think that is very significant. I think it might be helpful if we hear him himself. I have my thoughts based on my readings. There seems to be something more in the matter than the person. There's different form of intelligence. I think we get fascinated by intellectual intelligence. I mean, a person could be very sharp intellectually, but their other intelligence is very lacking. And I am very concerned that we could be having a monster in the making. I'm not trying to be negative, but it's that people get fascinated about all kind of things because, like, for instance, somebody getting 20-something CXC and so on. To me, it's something similar to that. So I think I want to really make the point that it might be good to hear the young man, quiz the young man and see, and not just because I mean there are many cases. I wish I could have referred a number of books at this point in time where people, outsmart even the smartest people.
Right.
Yeah, and I like what the person said earlier that the guy outsmart himself. That's what they normally do.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, don't forget there have been doctors, there have been other folks who have been very skillful, but in the end, they turn out to be disastrous to us. I'm not trying to bash the young man, and some of the questions that people are asking are correct. We need to there's something called, we need to have psychological tests. We need to have other kind of tests.
Okay.
All right,
thank you, caller.
Bye.
All right, before you jump off to that break there, let me just grab two comments quickly. Antonio Allspice is saying, Gilbert does not work anymore. Young people are saying we've been there before and we can go there again. Another person, Sonia Mathelin Scott, she says, this guy needs help because I think he will go back to doing the same thing again, in my opinion. Those are some of the comments here. He didn't just sit around and smoke weed or drink rum, so says Alistair Warwood. All right, thank you guys for your comments on social media. Keep it coming and we'll continue to share it with the rest of our viewing and listening audience.
Okay, folks, thank you very much. We'll be right back after these messages. We'll take a quick commercial break and we'll be back.
Ultratech gasoline and diesel. Available only at Rubis stations.
Level of convenience and comfort awaits you when you shop at Rise and Shine Supermarket and Hardware Supplies, Griffin Lane, Grenville. Convenient, because we are open Sunday to Sunday. We're even at your service on public holidays. Comfort, because we are easily accessible to the physically challenged. Free Wi-Fi is available while you shop, and bags come at no charge. Everyday low prices and excellent customer care. Adequate parking available. We supply everything you can possibly think of. Family and home supplies, fresh meat, vegetables, and personal care products. All brands of cooking gas at affordable prices. You can send in your order, have it pulled, or pick up express.
MegaFest 2022 Gospel Explosion is finally here. Join the youth of the Grenada Conference of Seventh-day Adventists under the green and white tent at Progress Park in St. Andrews from Sunday, October 9th to the 29th at 7 p.m. and continuing nightly for an electrifying evangelistic experience like no other. Come hear the ever-exhilarating Pastor Oliver Scott shatter the kingdom of darkness with thundering messages from the Word of God. If you ever needed the Lord before, we sure do need Him now. Come find hope in the midst of your pain. See you there.
The National Insurance Scheme continues to make it easy to access our services using the MyNIS online platform. Now we're introducing a new feature that allows you to submit your benefit claims from the convenience of your smart devices. No paper, no hassle. All you have to do is log in to my.nisgrenada.org. Select claims, fill out the relevant information, and click submit. We'll take it from there. It's that simple and that easy. Submit a claim from the comfort of your home as you rest and recuperate. Enjoy the convenience of faster claim processing and monitor the status of your claim every step of the way. We are excited to introduce this new feature to better serve you. NIS is changing the game and the way you make your claim. Access anywhere and anytime with MyNIS Online.
So you can choose. You gotta get a choice. All right, we head back over to Good Morning Grenada.
Yeah, quite a lot of comments there, Gary.
Hey, I missed you there. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning again. I was saying quite a number of very interesting comments as it related to the Akim Andrews situation. Now, the other thing that we started looking at, Gary, before we went off was the accidents, man.
Yeah, somebody commented here, raise the speeding charge to $1,000. Lower the amount of humps that are obstructing the emergency vehicles on the road. Now, this is something I've heard before, and I've endorsed this one.
Raising the fine
for speed. Okay. That could possibly serve as a deterrent for folks out there who tend to use the public road as a Formula One track.
We have a caller on the line. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you all today?
Welcome. Thanks.
Yeah, well, one little tip on the road. I have other things, something else to talk about. On the road, where you have, I guess you all have vehicles. Not guess, you all have a vehicle or you all drive. And the cost of vehicles today, when you drive in your vehicle, if you see a hole in the road, will you swing off or you pass in the hole?
Obviously swing off, huh?
Right. So they're looking at speeding, but one of the major things I see for cars, I'm a driver, I'm a rider. One of the major things for causing these accidents, there's too much holes in the road. So everyone wants to swing off. Sometimes they don't, even from some progestion, someone walking, they're thinking they've seen the person, but they're thinking more about the hole. They're swinging off from the hole and going close to the person. It's the same things going on.
Okay.
So that's causing a lot of accidents. Now, concerning the young gentleman, I'm going to give you an issue. This is part of life. There go people like this going to be always turning up. In the 70s, we had one. He had a little kind of slipness, but we used to call him Nachacha. He was operating in a hospital and a doctor and signing people and say he working in a hospital and thing, and they take long to detect him.
Wow.
Yes, so it does always pop up, but now I'm going to bring it to the older system now. What used to happen in our younger days, I guess you know that, we used to take 2 pieces of wood, a piece of tire, 2 bars wheel and make scooters, right? Riding on the pole and driving on the road, and police used to try to take it from us. But we supposed to have places in Grenada, or even the police force at some of these places. Once you pick up these people with this kind of intelligence, you bring them in a place. You must have people that are old retiree that want to volunteer to talk with them and see how you could improve on the skill.
Okay.
Because they are brains people, they are smart people, so you have to help them, and they could do a lot of helping. So what I want to tell you now, the same way with the same scooter and thing they used to take from us, right now we should have been producing these things in a decent level. They did take the young knowledge and put it forward. The white people take it from us, or the foreigners, let's say so, and we go in and buy these things in plastic, in coats, and all these other places for our children. The same type of scooter and cart and all kind of things.
Okay.
You see, so we have to, when we have our knowledge here, we have to work on it locally.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right.
Thanks a lot,
Thank you.
caller. All right. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Innocent. Somebody say, thanks, Innocent, for reminding this Gary how he should refer to the PM. But I tell you.
Well, I mean, I find that was, I mean, come on, man.
This Gary, boy, you know.
that had to be your friend, boy.
Yeah, boy, pour me with all of this water, boy.
The Honorable Deacon Mitchell, man.
This Gary. But listen, but speaking about the unsuspecting potholes, that is indeed a serious issue. As a driver myself, there is one right on the rungs about by Tempe, the intersection Tempe into the River Road area. That intersection right there that takes you into River Road or takes you into Monge area.
Right.
There's a big pot. There is a manhole. People had to put big stone in it to avoid vehicles from damaging their suspension.
So in essence, there's a little piece of road in the hole.
That's right. So that's right. So you all to get on fixed quick. I'm happy to see that other unsuspecting hole on Lothers Lane was fixed. That right after you pass that automotive place there. Yeah, there was a hole right there. Hey, if you try to veer too far right from the hole, you're bouncing another vehicle. Okay. So oftentimes you had no choice but to go down in the hole.
Right. We have a caller. Good morning, caller.
Hey, morning. How you doing, man?
Not bad at all. How are you?
What's with the road thing? I think we have to take a different approach with it. While humps have their place, but I think we're designing roads poorly as well. You pass through Hermitage in St. Patrick, where that new road was built, and the corners are slanted bad. So the corners are actually pulling vehicles off the road. You look at these low vehicles that are flipping, and it's not just about speeding. You coming through Palmis, nice stretch of road, but there are some trees planted on the seaside that obstruct the view. So again, you can't see what is coming down or coming up. So I think we have to focus on these things, and then what you find is some drivers speed between the humps, because when you have almost 30 humps from Satez to by the stadium, you have to bear in mind that, whether you leave early or not, you meet traffic, it slows down the entire process. But I think the science is where we're getting it wrong. I know there is plans for the Western Corridor, and I hope when that road is being constructed, science is used, the physics is used. You look at the racetracks, and you notice the corners are slanted, so the center of gravity of the vehicle is maintained. But we're not doing that. There is no science in it. And then, well, of course, you have the potholes and all the other madness that is happening. So I think those things will help. But humps is nothing. And then the speed limit, there are certain areas where I believe the speed limit should be revisited, because there are some 40-mile zones that I think can be increased. And then we just need to look at how we move traffic through the place, and I think it is going to help. Yes, for the point system, but we have other things we can do that I think will help if we follow the science. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you very much.
Follow the science. I like it. Follow the science.
But Gary, one of the things we have to, while I appreciate what the caller said, but one of the things we have to take into consideration, when last was roads really constructed in Grenada? Mostly what we have is rehabilitation of roads, right?
Yeah, and the PM, the Honorable Prime Minister, made a comment the other day alluding to such, and he was speaking specifically of the Montmorris Road. He said that road was constructed for horse carriage eons ago. Eons ago, and we have not done anything other than just like you just said, just pave and that's it. All right, but it was not meant for heavy traffic. Unfortunately, there's no other alternative. So of course, traffic's been diverted through Montmorris as they get ready to fix that mall in the area right there. But
Gary, we've got a caller. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Mr. Judith, and good morning to Gary.
How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Good.
I just want to make some comments on this arcade issue. Now, I always say to people, a man, a woman, we are human beings. We are not just flesh and blood, but we have a spirit. We are a spirit being clothed in a physical body. Now, this child, when we look at people do things and we say they're abnormal, we say they're crazy, we say that, but we're not looking at those spiritual things that can be happening. Now, for a person to impersonate a police, impersonate a doctor, that is not natural. This young man needs spiritual help, I would say spiritual deliverance. And there are many, many people who need spiritual deliverance. Now, we have to wait and see what his lawyer said. We have to wait and see if this will work, or if it will resort to something. And if he has not received a transformation, a spiritual transformation, when he goes to law and he studies law, whatever, when he comes back out, what would he impersonate? How would you trust somebody to represent you in a court of law who you're not even sure is normal? I think this boy is spiritual. We have to wait and see what happens. But a lot of these things are ignored.
All right.
We are a spirit being and we need spiritual attention.
All right, so we got the point. Thanks a lot, caller.
The Bible tells us we must repent and receive Christ. That puts us in a better position.
All right. Okay, thank you, caller.
All right, thanks a lot. I get the gist of her greater point. Thanks a lot for your contribution here this morning. Someone here, Ernesto, she's saying the answer to the accident problem is introducing speed cameras. When drivers speeding will be captured and will be fined. Also, it will bring revenue to fix the potholes on the roads. All right, thank you, Ernesto Marquez, for your response here this morning on Good Morning Grenada. You know something? I know I say innocent. I know you want to jump to another call quickly, but we have a problem. I think if I don't talk about it,
tell me.
I'll feel guilty later on down the road. Okay? We seem to have an issue with youngsters lining up down by the international airport down there late in the nighttime and speeding.
Oh,
you understand?
Okay.
I spotted it a few weeks ago, and that one of them almost ran into my wife and children. All right.
But if I'm not mistaken,
you see that stretch from the airport down to Rex, down go back, well, what used to be Rex, beyond, just beyond, they lining up there, and they go in tons, and they speeding.
To see who has the fastest takeoff and things like that.
All them kind of things. So this is not Need for Speed. You all are looking at these movies and being inspired by the antics that is shown in those movies. Someone is going to get killed.
But if I'm not mistaken, a couple of years back, didn't we have a fatality on that stretch?
We have many fatalities on that stretch, for that matter, and we don't want to see that happen again. So all you youngsters who are into that practice, I remember I picked the phone up and I called the police once that was happening. I suckered back because I needed to collect something back in that direction, and they were still there.
Okay. We have a caller. Good morning, caller.
Yes, good morning.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Sometimes we have in conversation or we're not listening to one another. I listened, Mr. Antoine made a very significant point. He said we need to hear from Akim. I don't know if you've been in situations where you're in a meeting and so the person in charge says, we would like to have volunteers. Nobody volunteers. And then he says, well, I'm going to volunteer you. Yeah. So, when somebody volunteer you, your heart not in it. So sometimes you don't get what you're looking for. Right. So we need to hear from Akim. I think that is a very significant point. Have a good day.
All right, thank you very much.
Very, very good. I endorse that.
Gary, maybe we should try reaching out to him and have him on the program one of these mornings.
Anybody have Akim number?
Yeah, I think that's what we should do.
Akim, give us a call now.
Yeah, give us a call.
Yeah, you could find us. I mean, we you know to find us.
Come, let's have a conversation, man.
Yeah.
Let's take this other call quickly. Good morning.
Yes, hello, good morning.
Welcome to the program.
The young man that you were spoken about, I think he used to go in Jubilant Center in Grand College.
Okay.
And apparently he tried doctoring too and writing prescription for people.
Really?
I got you.
Okay.
So the young man is not possessed as the woman saying or anything. He just been bright. He have a lot of intellect in him, but he needs help.
He needs to channel it in the right direction.
Exactly. We know what he's doing is wrong. It's not lawful. What about a herbalist? The person who's doing herbal, and they don't have a license. Right. But they're making herbs. And the person gets it from herbs.
Okay.
Secondly, I would like to make a quick ad. A lot of phone on the traveling to Grenville area from Grand College, and I would like the person who picked the phone up, I didn't lost the phone, sorry. It fell off my pocket by the time I get to my destination. He was not there. So I'm asking the person to call 538-0052 and contact Mr. McMillan, please.
Okay, thank you, caller. All right,
thank you very much.
Yeah, and I don't think it's fair to compare herbs with a medical prescription. You know what I mean? That's first of all, you don't have to be licensed to be a herbalist. Right? Yeah.
But if that again, that is another topic, Gary. Because do you believe in bush medicine?
Of course, 100%.
Okay. Mm-hmm. What's the mixtures?
There are dosage that you can follow, all right? But we're very off topic here, but but you cannot be compared to
what Akim did.
Medical prescription. Yeah. That is far more dangerous.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We have another caller. Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, I just to compose it as well. I don't know how the young fella with the police uniform. Right? Tell me, what do you think is all about? He ended up wearing a police uniform?
Yeah, that was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, but we don't want to delve too much on that because that gone already. We're talking about the fact that he's now rehabilitated or easy and he's out of prison.
All right.
Hold on, you there?
Yes, we are here.
Well, this guy is an intelligent guy, right? And according to Mr. Van Innocent, his intelligence needs to be channeled in the proper direction, right? He could be put into the proper use. I mean, we could make proper, good use of him. Right. If we only do the right thing, it's not taking him and put him in a juvenile center.
Right.
I think a lot, something better could be done with him. We could make better use, of him.
Okay.
Anyway,
all right.
Thanks, man.
Okay.
Heaven Hill is saying here, Jerry Edwin said Akim was counseling and encouraging inmates in jail. Was he impersonating a psychologist while in prison? Seems like he was continuing the impersonating behavior in jail. I don't know about that, Haven Hill. He could have been all genuine doing his thing, you know what I mean? I mean, you don't have to impersonate. I don't know if you're being sarcastic there, Haven. I don't know if that's being sarcastic, but that does not happen. I mean, anyone could serve as a counselor,
You talk from your experiences.
Exactly.
He realized where he landed himself and he knows what caused him to get there, so he might be telling folks, hey, do not go down that path. This is what will happen to you. Gary, we need to take a commercial commercial break. We'll be back with the final moments. We'll be right back, folks. Don't you go anywhere.
Vaccine safety is always a top priority. Like other vaccines, the COVID-19 vaccines being developed have been through the same trial phases and rigorous process required for all vaccines. Global efforts on the development of the vaccines are built on existing research from previous coronaviruses like MERS and SARS-1. As COVID-19 vaccines are approved for their broad use in the population, be reassured that they will continue to be monitored to identify any adverse events. Your safety is our top priority. Vaccines bring us closer. Choose to get vaccinated.
You know, one day I woke up and, you know, they painted a set of pedestrian crossing all along the streets. You know, nobody told us how to use that thing properly.
I know how.
You're serious?
Every safe, good driver knows about these things. As a driver, you have to be very attentive. You know you're coming up close to a pedestrian cross, you start slowing down immediately, looking to see if there's any pedestrian on the side getting ready to cross. If there is, you stop on the line that is a certain distance before the crosswalk. Then you would see the pedestrian put their hands out, looking directly at you, indicating that they are going to cross. And only when you have come to a complete stop, that is when they will quickly and safely cross to the other side. And then you continue happily on your journey.
Stop, look, hand out, eye contact, wait for pedestrian to cross. Then you happily continue on your journey.
This message is brought to you by this group of insurance companies, the Traffic Advisory Body, and the Traffic Department.
Don't miss the new season of Interesting Grenadians on GBN TV and social media platforms from Wednesday, October 12th at 8 p.m. and every Wednesday until November 9th, featuring the Anya Chow Chung story, the Richard Duncan story, and lots more. It's Interesting Grenadians, celebrating our interesting and outstanding Grenadians at home and abroad. Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on GBN, beginning October 12th. You won't want to miss it.
Welcome back, viewers and listeners. Welcome back. We're having the conversation this morning. And Gary, you with me? All right, Gary is not yet with me. Okay, you also, one of the things we also want to look at this month has been designated or observed as Financial Information Month. And yeah, that is something that is. I think my producer, the TV producer, will be playing a clip on that, and our ECCB chairman has spoken immensely on that. Gary, you here with me?
Yeah, I'm back.
Right. We're looking at Financial Information Month, which is being observed this month.
Right. Don't we all need to observe that, Ben?
You're saying that soft, huh?
But hey, who's better to give us some tips on being financially prudent than the ECCB boss himself?
Yeah.
And and we haven't got much time, so we're going to run to it quickly. What I took from what I enjoyed most about listening to him speak is how he managed to be able to say to us, hey, here are the things we ought to be doing and we're not doing. You know, he spoke about cryptocurrency, he spoke about investing in stocks and all that kind of thing there. So, all right, so let's listen to the clip and when we come back, if we got time, we'll chit-chat some more, okay?
Okay, good.
The target of this year's Financial Information Month, according to the governor of the ECCB, Timothy Antoine, is wealth creation. The Eastern Caribbean Central Bank was established on October 1st, 1983, and is the monetary authority for the 8 member countries. The ECCV governor explains that the shift in focus to wealth creation is driven by the need to expand from financial literacy and empowerment to include financial wellness and resilience.
And if you reflect for a moment, I think you will agree that wealth creation can be a pathway to financial resilience. That's where I'm going with that. Wealth creation is an important pathway to financial resilience. Personal financial resilience, national financial resilience.
Referencing the United States, Governor Antoine notes that 1 in 2, or 58% of U.S. citizens are invested in the U.S. stock market, while only 4% of citizens in the ECCU have invested in regional and international stock markets.
I'm making this point, and I know Mr. Morton as Deputy Chair will appreciate the point. We need to see more of our people invest in the stock market, regional and international. And yes, I know right now the stock market is turbulent. It will settle. You have to think long. And therefore, we need to see more of our people invest in securities. So you want to know more about this investing thing I just mentioned? Check out the Home Mortgage Bank website, echmb.com. Check out the ecsconline.com. You can find more information there.
The ECB governor says during the month of October, the bank will focus on several topics, including entrepreneurship, investing in securities, and cryptocurrency. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Thank you very much, Gerard, for that report. And yes, indeed, we may not have time to invite much calls on this topic here, but there is something that we all can take from that.
Yeah, definitely. Financial intelligence is very, very much needed now. It's critical, and as a matter of fact, I am one that advocated for that a very long time ago. Start teaching financial intelligence.
In school.
Financial literacy in school. As a youngster, I don't know if it's still happening in the schools, but I know as a student of the Tivoli RC school, we had, like, I think the savings union and so forth, where from that early age children were taught to save. You put aside some of your break money, and most of the times we save for when the school has its harvest or its fair. You break your savings and so forth.
Forming that habit from early.
Yeah, that's important, so that guys like, well, I don't know about you, guys like me would learn to save more.
Even Hill got a comment here. I would love to dip into a little bit, Innocent.
Yeah, go right ahead.
She said, Gary, that is the issue with Grenada. Valid points are trivialized and scoffed at. No, not everyone can be a counselor, especially to vulnerable inmates who need professional guidance. There is a reason why there are degrees that enable one to be counselors. Inmates in jail are visited oftentimes by professional counselors. So Haven Hill, thank you so very much. I wish we could have you to debate this issue, and you are right, but I think I'm also right. You don't need to be a qualified counselor to impart some form of counseling to someone who may need it.
No, you can use your life experiences.
There's a big difference in being trying to impersonate a trained, certified counselor as a father imparting counseling his child, counseling his son, a mother doing the same to her daughter or son. That does not say that they are less capable or qualified to counsel. All right,
Gary, we'll do the counseling another day. But
yeah, man. Let me go on counsel some more.
Yeah, let's do some counseling, folks. That's it for this segment of Good Morning Grenada. Should the good Lord spare our lives, we'll have another one for you tomorrow. Join us again tomorrow. And those of you who called and participated and send your comments via the social media platforms, thank you very much. We've got a break. We've got the BBC coming right up.
All right, take care, guys.
Good.